my lovely Pisces. How are you? How are you, really? So, the energy that I'm feeling overall before I go into you guys' tarot reading, it's kind of like the energy of letting things be, you know, and kind of going with the flow. And actually, before I got home, I kind of felt the energy of kind of like coming out of my shell or stepping out of my comfort zone. Okay, so for a lot of you Pisces, I'm a moon sign Pisces, okay, but for some of you Pisces, you could be finding yourself like wanting to do different things, or wanting to try new avenues, or just really wanting to be and do differently. Okay, if you have been to yourself and kind of secluded like I have, you know, you could find yourself, you know, wanting to socialize more, wanting to go to any type of event that pops up, you know, just if it's not a change of behavior, it's kind of like a change of scenery, or a change of you know, just some type of change here. Okay, which is kind of like a refreshing type of change. Okay, could be changing your diet, changing your workout routine, changing your schedule up a little bit. Okay, just changing things up. You know, change is good. You know, because like in my living room, I normally have my yellow and red flowers. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but my yellow and red flowers that are right here in my kitchen, I normally have it in my living room, but I'm starting to learn more about like the vibes that colors give off. And you know, too much red is kind of like, you know, like an aggressive type of color, you know. But if it's used to bare minimum, you know, throughout the house and space, you know, that's pretty cool. But I actually substituted in my living room like a light pink and like a hot pink, you know. So I'm embracing femininity, I'm embracing gentleness, I'm embracing calming colors, you know. I love red, but it's kind of aggressive if too much of it is present. Alright, so what do we have for our lovely Pisces? Alright, we have the Justice in reverse so far, and we have the Four of Cups. Okay, we're going to see what else we have here. Alright, what else do we have for our lovely Pisces? My daughter is in the back singing, so don't mind her. Okay, don't mind her. I normally get like irritated if she's like yelling in the background, but realize there's absolutely nothing I can do. She's 4 years old, going through her terrible twos. You know, it's just there's no stopping that. You know, so we also have the Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay, sorry y'all, I'm trying to see who that was outside my window. Somebody driving by slow. Seems like everybody that drives on the road behind where I live, they drive really slow on this road. Some people, they even actually stop. Okay, pretty weird, but I try not to pay it any mind. Okay, yeah, I try not to pay it any mind. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do these cards that came out here. Okay, I'm gonna do these cards that came out. Okay, so apparently we need to see them. Okay, so Pisces, Ten of Wands in reverse, the King of Swords in reverse, the Eight of Swords in reverse, the King of Pentacles. Okay, Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay, like we said in the beginning, your Four of Cups, and your Justice in reverse. Okay, so for some of you Pisces, I'm getting with you know, if this is like a job, okay, you may actually make a lot of money on this job, okay? You could be doing really well financially, or you're looking to do really well financially, okay? You could be actually staying somewhere that you feel is not really satisfying, but you see a lot of value in it, okay? Because like with this card right here, with this Four of Cups, you know, you see she has something here that's presented to her, but you know, she's like not really paying attention much to it, you know. And we got the Ten of Wands in reverse, okay? So a lot of you Pisces could still be stuck to a situation, okay, or a job, or a relationship or marriage that you may not feel like you are treated fairly, or you may not feel as if it's equal give and take, okay? You may just feel like there's things that need to be corrected, you know, but you know, it's like the many problems that you may see, it's like you're not really going anywhere because there's King of Pentacles, okay? One, you see a lot of value in this person, your relationship or marriage, or on this job, okay? Or in this career path, whatever the case is, okay? You see the potential, you see the value, you see how this can play out very beautifully, okay? You see it for what it is, you know? And, well, I wouldn't say you see it for what it is, you see it for what it could be, okay? And, yeah, with this Eight of Swords in reverse, it's like you know what you're dealing with, or you know what type of person you're dealing with, okay? And also with these Three Cups right here, okay, this person may have broken a lot of promises, okay, or disappointed you lots of times, okay, or on your job, you may have had plenty of moments where you said to yourself, like, this is fair, I don't want to be here anymore, I'm not getting paid enough, I'm not being treated properly, I'm not really being recognized for my works, okay, so it's like you've had plenty of moments of feeling unfulfilled, okay, but you still kind of like it's kind of like one of y'all's other readings, I think it's called tunnel vision, you know, but it's like despite the disappointments, despite the many setbacks, and despite it not being enough right now, it's like you see what it could be, and that's what has you here, that's what has you, that's what basically has you still tied to this situation, this relationship, or this marriage, because you see the beauty, you see the potential, you see what it could become. And for some of you, in this relationship, in this marriage, on your job, you could have just been here for a really long time, okay? So it's just kind of like, if I've invested all these years, it better work out, okay? I'm trying to get my money's worth, or trying to get my time's worth, okay? So, and also with this King of Swords in reverse, a lot of you could be kind of holding back how you truly feel, or kind of like, what is it called whenever a person is, like holding back mean words, or holding back anger, or holding back, you know, it's like that's what's happening here. It's like you're being treated unfairly, you see the many mistakes, or you see what could be worked on, or what could be fixed on, but with this King of Swords in reverse, Pisces, you may have actually previously already said something, and this person may have took it the wrong way, or may have led to an argument, or, you know, and it's like now you kind of feel like, well, if I say something this go around, you know, it's like, you know, because this happened before, and before again, and before again, and I've said something before, and before again and before again, you know. So it's like you've gotten to the point to where you're tired of trying to fix this. It's like you stop trying to make this job into something that it's not, or you stop trying to get this person to behave a certain way, if it's your relationship or marriage. It's almost as if you kind of threw your hands up, and honestly, you could be done, or you could have walked away from this person, okay? And for some of you Pisces, you may actually be in the dating game, but the people who are coming your way with these offers, you're just like, no, like, you know, it's like these people don't match up to who I'm coming away from. You know, although we had our problems, although we had complications, you know, these people are not who I see myself being with. Who I see myself being with is this person, you know. Or it's like this job, you may have came off from it, you know, told your boss like, hey, you're not paying me enough, so I need to dip, you know. But it's like you're looking at the other jobs like, these are nothing like what I'm coming from, you know. Or although I wasn't making much on my other job, I actually enjoyed it, you know. And, you know, or if you did make a lot of money on your job and maybe you just had a bad time with like your boss and your co-workers, you know, so you went to somewhere else, it's just like you kind of thinking to yourself like, you know, yeah, I had a hard time with my boss and the people there, but I got paid good. The insurance benefits were like on point, okay? So it's kind of like Pisces, if you have moved on, it's like you're kind of sizing up the new people or these new job opportunities up with the thing that you're coming from if you haven't walked away, you know? Because at the end of the day, this was a job or a relationship or marriage with somebody that you truly valued a lot or have invested a lot of time into, okay? And, you know, it's kind of like, for some of you Pisces with this Justice card in reverse, you could kind of feel a little frustrated with yourself, like, why can't I move forward? Why can't I be done? I see this person or this job is just not aligned with me or satisfying, whatever the case may be. Like, I see that it's not that of what I need it to be. So like, why am I still tied to this job? Why am I still tied to this person? Why do I still love them? Why do I still care? Why am I still thinking about them? Why can't I move forward? You know? And you know, Pisces, I would just say like not to beat yourself up, okay? Because especially if this is like a relationship or marriage, with this King of Pentacles, that means you've dealt with this person for a really long time, okay? Your body has gotten adjusted to this person. You've gotten adjusted to waking up to them in the morning time, okay? So like, being with somebody and forming that routine with them and then getting away from that and stepping back into the dating scene, like, yes, it's going to be horrifying. Yes, you're going to still think about this person. Yes, you're going to still be tied to them, okay? Because you've invested a lot of time, Pisces, okay? So I would just say, like, how you feel is normal. You still being stuck on the past, you know? It's like you can't even really consider it the past, even if you have been away from this person for a while, because look at how much time has been invested, okay? That's not the past. This person is still a part of you, Pisces, okay? Or if this is a job, you know, same thing, okay? Routine, if that routine was there, you got to adjust it to making that certain amount of money, getting those certain type of insurance benefits, working for a certain company for a certain period of time. That has become a routine, a habit. So now coming away from this, yes, it's going to be hard, because this is a drastic change. This is different from your norms, okay? So it's okay for it to take a minute for you to fully move on, okay? Because something I've learned, especially when it comes to dating, is when you tell somebody you love them and you actually mean it, which I know y'all Pisces do. I'm a moon Pisces. When we say I love you, that's it, okay? So when you truly, truly, truly love somebody and it ends up going sour, that love does not disappear, Okay, and that's something a lot of people don't want to talk about, or something a lot of people don't want to hear. They think that, oh no, I'm not in contact with him anymore, or I don't live with her anymore, so that means I don't care anymore. No, you still care. Okay, if your love was real from the jump, it's going to always be real, you know. And does that mean you can't welcome another person into your life? No. Okay, but it's just kind of like that's the type of reality that we have to admit to ourselves so that we can recognize why this energetic cord is still there. And it's still there because we're thinking of this person. Why are we still thinking about this person? Because our brain has been accustomed to holding a place in our mind and heart for this person for a long period of time. That doesn't just disappear, you know, like just because our bodies is out of the equation. That doesn't mean our mind and our heart caught the memo that we're done with this person. Like our mind does not forget and our heart does not stop feeling, you know, and that's something a lot of people don't want to talk about. Just because you've gotten away from a person and claim you don't love them anymore, or you don't care, you don't want to go back. Maybe you don't want to go back, but your mind knows what it's thinking. Your heart knows what it feels, and that's not something that we can control, okay? So Pisces, I would just say give yourself some time, and it's okay, okay? It's okay that you're still thinking about this person. It's okay that you're not ready to move on, okay? It's okay. It's normal. So don't beat yourself up here, okay? Don't beat yourself up. And it's okay for you to be looking at the new people, the new job opportunities like, ugh, okay? That's okay. That's okay, all right? So I'm going to see what else we have here, okay? For some of you Pisces, you could be thinking to yourself like, you know, since I'm not really open or interested in anything else, like, should I go back? Although I feel that this treatment is unfair, although I feel like this person is not reciprocating, or although I feel like this person is basically not really the best option for me, like, should I go back? You know? Okay? And I mean, that would have to be up to you, Pisces, okay? That would have to be up to you. And whatever you decide to do, I fully support you, okay? Because I get it, you know? We're only human, okay? But yeah, just because we move on, it does not mean that our minds move on. It does not mean that our hearts move on, you know? That's kind of like when people develop like PTSD. Like just because that traumatic experience is over, your mind is not going to forget that somebody pulled a gun out on you. Your mind is not going to forget that you got raped. Your mind does not forget. Our minds are designed to hold information. Okay? So if you know, and our hearts do not forget feelings. Okay? So if you dealt with a person for a long amount of time and you felt a lot of love for them for a long period of time, your heart just doesn't be like, okay, such and such doesn't love him anymore, so we're just gonna turn the switch off. Like, no, our body has its own system, you know, it has its own system, okay, and it's up to our minds to forget, and our minds really don't forget, and it's up to our hearts to stop feeling, and our hearts never stop feeling, you know, so, you know. So it's kind of like Pisces, it's like your body has left this situation, or you're thinking about leaving this person or this situation, but your mind and heart is dead set on this job, this business deal, or this relationship or marriage. Okay, so it's like the body can go, but the mind and the heart, they have made their mind up. Ooh. Okay. So we have the Tower in reverse, okay? So Pisces, I see that, like I said, with the Four of Cups, it's kind of like you're not even really paying too much attention to the new offers or to the new people, because it's like you want to avoid a disaster. Like, why should I give myself to another job that I'm not going to put my all into? Or why should I move on to another person that I'll never love half as much as I ever love this person? you know, or you could be wanting to avoid a disaster or going back, you know. So it's kind of like stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, I don't want to move forward because I don't really love these people, or I'm not going to really love these job opportunities. And I also don't want to go back because I know what this person is about, or I know how this job is, you know. So it's kind of, it's hard either way, you know. And honestly, Pisces, y'all's reading sounds a lot like Libra's reading, okay? So when you're done with this video, you can go check out Libra's reading, okay? And that one was about acceptance, you know. It's either you can accept this situation, this job for flaws and all, okay? Or move on to another job or another person and accept the fact that maybe I'll never be fully involved in this job or this person how I was in the past, you know, because the past job was the job that I truly saw myself being on for the rest of my life, okay, or the person that I'm coming from. That was who I put all my eggs in one basket on. That's who I've invested a lot of time with, you know. So, you know, it's very tricky. It's very tricky, you know. It's very tricky because, like, a lot of people who may come out of like an abusive relationship or something like that, it's like 9 times out of 10 they put up with the abuse because they love that person. So now that they're away from that person and trying to date somebody else, it's like, you know, 9 times out of 10 they end up going back or staying single because it's just like, you know, I genuinely love this person. And I only moved forward because things were not working. I didn't move forward because I stopped caring. I didn't move forward because I stopped loving this person. I didn't move forward because I fell out of love. I moved forward because I had to. Okay, so that love is still there. Okay, so how do you bring in, okay, a new opportunity like that? Okay, if our mind and our heart is somewhere else, like, what's the point? You know? So I see your mentality here, Pisces, you know, just wanting to avoid a disaster here, you know. It's like you don't want to move forward because it's just like, why should I move forward if I'm not going to be fully involved, you know? Why move forward if I'm not going to be fully involved, if I'm never going to love like this, if I'm never going to feel like this with anybody else or on any other job, you know? And it's also like, I don't know about going back either, you know, because I see this person at this job for what it is, and right now it's not really fair. It's not really equal. It's not balanced, you know. So, yeah. And also with this King of Pentacles, some of you could be just deciding to just, you know, if you didn't want to go to another job or go back to the old job, you could be being your own entrepreneur, okay, own business owner. Or if you couldn't decide between the past person that you truly love or moving forward to somebody else who is better, okay, or has better qualities, I'll say that, but it's not the person that you genuinely love, you could just be deciding to, you know, just focus on yourself here, okay? Focusing on your pentacles, okay? Your goals, dreams, aspirations, okay? So, honestly, I think that's the best bet, okay? Okay? If you're stuck between, which I'm a Pisces moon, so if you can't choose between moving forward or going backwards, just stay put. Stay put, Pisces. If you got to, just stay put, okay? Because I wouldn't want you to move forward into something or somebody that you're not fully fulfilled with, you know. If you bring somebody new into your life, they deserve the highest version of you, not just the bits and pieces of you that you have left over from this person, okay? That's what I mentioned in Sagittarius' reading in the past, you know. Your next person deserves all of you, but how can you give them all of you if you gave all of you to this person, you know? And I know you also, you know, and I also wouldn't want you to go back to a situation that's not really serving your highest good, you know? So, yeah, if you can't go forward, if you can't go back, just stay put, Pisces, okay? Stay put. Maybe it's not about moving forward. Maybe it's not about going backwards. Maybe it's about making the best out of where we are right here, right now with ourselves, you know? Because with this King of Pentacles, he's sitting in his library, you know? He's just sitting to himself, embracing the moment, taking a time out, sitting to himself, relaxing, chilling, playing catch up with himself, because it's like he's worked so hard and now he just gets to just sit and enjoy. I put in so much effort and time on this job and this relationship. I just need a minute, okay? Just to enjoy my labors, to enjoy myself. Just a minute to play catch up with myself, okay? So if you got two Pisces, just stay put. If you don't know what else to do, in the Bible when it be like, be still and know that I am God, all right, that type of stuff, Pisces. If you don't know whether to move forward or go back, just chill. Okay? So we have the Nine of Pentacles. So for some of you could just be focusing on self, your dreams, goals, aspirations. Okay, good. And with this King of Cups in reverse, yeah, I know, Pisces. For some of you Pisces, bless you, you could be, focusing on yourself and focusing on your goals and stuff to the point to where you basically are trying to get rid of your love, okay? Or trying to get rid of how you feel, trying to get rid of thinking of this person. So yeah, Pisces, for some of you could be trying to ignore this pull to the past job or person. It's like you're trying to fight off that urge to go back, or you're trying to fight off the thoughts or fight off the feelings that were involved with this disappointment, okay? But I mean, Pisces, how you feel is real and it's okay, or the thoughts that you're having or this person in the past is absolutely normal. It's absolutely fine, and once you allow yourself to feel and allow yourself to think about this past job or think about this person, once you, I don't know if y'all know about the law of restraint, or is that what it's called? The law of, not restraint, the law of restriction. I forgot what it's called, but it's, hold on, I'm going to look it up for a second. But yeah, I don't know if it's the law of denial or the law of acceptance. I think it's the law of acceptance, okay? I might be wrong, I forgot what it is, but it's included in the game of life and how to play it, okay? I'll post that link at the bottom so y'all can listen to that audio here on YouTube, okay? She mentions it. But something I've learned is that the more we try to fight off something, the stronger it gets. But once we actually accept our thoughts and accept our feelings, we're letting our mind and body and our heart filter it out we're allowing it to filter out of us naturally. But when we try to hijack our bodies, hijack our minds, and hijack our hearts, and when we try to tell our heart to stop doing what it's supposed to do, which is to feel, and when we try to stop our brain from doing what it's supposed to do, which is to think and play memories, when we try to tell our bodies to stop doing that, Pisces, we actually are working against ourselves. And if this person or this job has caused a lot of disappointment, grudges, regret, anger, if we're stopping our bodies from doing what it's supposed to do, we're stopping that process of filtering that out of our hearts and out of our minds, And it's pretty unhealthy. I'm learning that now. But yeah, it's kind of like a cold, for instance. Okay, with a cold, you get the runny nose, the sneezing, the fever, things of that nature, And it's not so much that like when you get a virus, people don't tell you to try to stop it. Instead, they tell you to allow it to pass. Because when we try to stop something, we don't allow it to take its full course. So Pisces, I would just say to kind of beware of this method here of distracting yourself or telling your heart to stop feeling and telling your mind to stop thinking, you know. Your body is doing what it's supposed to do, okay? And if you're wanting to rid yourself of this person or this situation, you would have to seriously let your body do what it's supposed to do, okay? For this person to get out of your heart space, you have to allow your heart to feel for this person. And after a while, once your heart sees that you're no longer there or you're no longer putting into this situation, your heart will slowly but surely get the memo that, hey, we're not involved with this person anymore, you know. But I will say that love is going to always be there. It may not be as intense as it was before, but it's going to always be there, okay? A lot of people don't want to talk about it, okay? But I'll be the one to talk about it because I don't care, okay? Now, yeah, we just have to let our bodies do what they're supposed to do, Pisces. Our brains are meant to think, hold information, store memories, okay? So don't be surprised if you're having flashbacks of this person or this job. That's supposed to happen. Your brain is doing what it's supposed to do, okay? But if you stop that process or you interfere with your body's natural design, that's when the problems come forward, Pisces. Or that's when we slow down our body's process. But yeah, it's like our mind and our hearts are trying to make sense of this situation, you know. So I'm going to see what else we have here, Pisces, okay? What else do we have for... Ooh, that was too many cards, okay? Ooh. Eliana, what are you doing? Okay. Alright, what else do we have for Pisces? But yeah, it's just like a virus, you know. I've actually learned that a virus, it cannot actually be killed. The only thing you can do with a virus is let it take its course, okay? So it's the same thing here, okay? Our mind and our heart has to go through this process to rid this person or this experience out of our energy, you know? It has to happen like this. Alright, so what else do we have for Pisces? Okay. And honestly, Pisces, it's normal for you not to be so optimistic about new offers, okay? It's normal for you to still think about it. It's normal for you to still have those feelings. But what's not normal, Pisces, is trying to distract yourself from how you feel and what you're thinking. That's not normal, okay? That actually stunts the process of moving forward, you know. The healing process, we have to go through it. That's not something we can click pause on. It's not something that we can just, okay? We have to actually go through it. And it's uncomfortable, okay? It's very uncomfortable. But after a while, when we allow our body to do what it's supposed to do and take its natural course, okay? Feelings, thoughts, all of that. That's part of nature, okay? But when we go trying to control God's design of how He made us, okay? That's when the problems creep in, Pisces, okay? So, what else do we have for Pisces? So yeah, we just gotta sit still and allow ourselves to have those thoughts, allow ourselves to feel how we feel, okay? But if we're constantly on the move, keeping ourselves busy, things of that nature to avoid this, all we're doing is hurting ourselves, Pisces, okay? All we're doing is hurting ourselves and stunting our own growth and pausing our own healing journey, okay? We're not hurting God, we're not hurting the universe, and we're not benefiting our future self either. Okay, it might work right now, Pisces. Okay, it might work right now. It might feel good right now. Okay, but in the long run, how is that going to benefit us? Okay, how is that going to benefit us in the long run if we don't address how we feel, or if we keep trying to fight off and ignore those thoughts? You know, what'll happen when we actually do sit down and it all catches up to us? Okay. We're ignoring the pain, the hurt, the grudges, the anger, keeping ourselves busy, what will happen when we actually sit down and it all catches up to us? Because then when we sit down, we're gonna have to come face to face with it all. So Pisces, y'all want to deal with it right now, them thoughts and them uncomfortable thoughts and feelings, or do y'all want to wait until it all piles up? Okay. And from my own personal experience, Pisces, you don't want to deal with a bunch of emotions and thoughts at once. That's not a very pleasant experience, okay? I do not recommend it at all, okay? Yeah, I do not recommend it, okay? Because whenever you don't deal with it on the spot and you wait until later when all your problems build up, you're not going to know where to start, Pisces, because you're going to have so much anger built up on top of sadness, regret, grief, sorrow, pity. Like, it's just going to all pile up that you're not going to know where to start. You're not going to know where your sadness is coming from, where your anger is coming from. You're not even eventually going to know how you feel or what you're thinking. So you might come to a point where you just feel blank or numb, but really you're not blank and numb. You're just kind of like out of touch with reality, out of touch with your own body, and out of touch with your own thoughts and feelings. And that's not a good place to be, Pisces. That's not a good place to be, okay? Because when our minds get overloaded, they just shut down. Or if our hearts are overloaded, it gets shut down. So a lot of you Pisces, you could be, or we could be finding ourselves feeling very numb, okay, or apathetic, okay? And it's because we are not dealing with these many thoughts and these many feelings. So it's like our body has kind of shut down in a kind of way, which is really getting our attention. Like, hey, I'm overworking. Like, our brain is letting us know, like, I'm overworking, trying to prevent you from thinking. Okay, you're busy on your job and whatnot. So I'm your brain. I'm having to overwork. Or I'm your heart, I'm having to overwork because you're not processing these feelings. You're too busy on your job, or you're too busy partying, okay? Whenever we don't face our insides of how we truly feel, we make our organs work overtime because we're not processing it. So it's like our brain has to process it itself, and our heart has to process it itself, and that's not what it's supposed to do. We're supposed to go inside and do that inner work. But if we don't do it, it's like our organs have no choice but to try to do our job. It's like we leave our brain to make sense with the many thoughts. And it's not meant to do that, so it just shuts down. It's kind of like a car. If a car is running hot because you've been driving around in it for too long, okay, same thing. Anything that you use for too much or put too much pressure on, I don't know if y'all have ever put too much bolts in your outlets. That actually happened to me the other day, and I'm actually glad that the universe showed me that so that I could use this as an example for you guys for this reading. Long story short, I actually ended up doing something very different in my living room that I don't normally do. I used my blow dryer and I plugged it up, and it did good for a minute. Then out of nowhere, all my outlets in the living room, they just stopped working. Okay, so if we're applying that situation to now, Pisces, it's like our bodies is the outlets, and any situation that causes pressure or stress or anxiety or fears and worries, those are kind of like the plugs that you plug in. But like I said, with the blow dryer, I put something on there that was too many volts. It was something different, okay? Pisces, this is a drastic change that has occurred. And it's like, in this situation, this drastic change from this job or from this person is similar to me plugging in my blow dryer in the outlet, And the same thing that happened with my outlets. They all shut down, okay? And it wasn't until I called my maintenance guy to actually come and flick the switch. It didn't do it itself, Pisces. I had to actually call somebody else to come and do it. Okay, these outlets don't reset themselves. Our mind and our body is not meant to, and our mind and our heart is not meant to process things by itself. We're supposed to actually go in there and flip that switch and let our minds and hearts, we're supposed to go in and actually acknowledge what just happened. But if we're not acknowledging it and we're leaving it up to our minds and our hearts to put up with all of this weight that we're not dealing with, Pisces, it just shuts down to where, we just don't know what to think anymore, or we just don't think at all, or we don't feel anything, just completely numb, okay? And that's not a good spot to be, Pisces, okay? It's not a good spot to be when you don't know how you feel, you don't know what you're thinking, you're just completely out of touch with yourself. When we're out of touch with ourselves, we're out of touch with God. There's no way possible for us to receive messages from God if we're not even in touch with ourselves. God is inside of us. So if we keep ourselves so busy that we don't go inside, we are not hurt. We are only hurting ourselves, Pisces. We're only breaking our own relationship with the God inside of us. Okay? And when we break our relationship with God, okay, everything else from that point forward is nothing but, okay, trials and tribulations. I'll say that. Okay? So that's not a good spot to be, Pisces. We can't leave it to our minds and hearts to deal with this blow or this drastic change that we have went through. We have to actually do like my maintenance guy came and he opened the box, he found the switch, he turned it on. So in that situation, we have to turn the switch back on in our hearts and face whatever comes out. Or turn the switch on our mind. We're still thinking about this person, we allow those thoughts to come and we accept those thoughts. That's the only way through this situation, Pisces. Okay? But if we keep just acting busy, like nothing's wrong, like woo da 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 da, okay? All we're doing is hurting ourselves, Pisces, stunting our own growth and interrupting our own flow, our natural design. We're interrupting our own genetic makeup when we do stuff like this. When we go through a drastic change and we just act like nothing happened at all, okay? We just assume back to our jobs like everything is normal, all is well, okay? It's okay for us to lie to other people and be like, yeah, I'm good. But if we're actually telling ourselves that and we're believing that and not truly facing how we feel or what we're thinking, that's where the problem comes in, Pisces, okay? So I'm going to see what else we have here, Pisces, okay? Don't feel comfortable moving forward, and we don't feel comfortable moving forward, and we also don't feel comfortable going back. Only thing left to do is to embrace the present moment and to sit still. And in this process of sitting still, Pisces, we have to actually ask ourselves, how do we feel about this? How are we thinking? How are we doing? Okay? But if we're just sitting to ourselves and keeping ourselves busy, we'll never we'll never actually process what just happened or allow ourselves to break free from this situation if that's what the plan is, But to break free of this, we have to actually break free from it. But for us to break free, we have to actually face that we're still attached, okay? For us to let go of a disappointment, we have to admit that we were disappointed. For us to let go of a grudge, we have to admit that there is a grudge, okay? For us to let go of these feelings for this person and this love, we have to admit the feelings and the love is still there, okay? The only way to get rid of something, you have to first admit that it's there, okay? We have to first admit that it's there, okay? Alright, so I'm going to look at the likely outcome of this situation. Okay? Alright. What's the likely outcome of this situation? Likely outcome. This is not a prediction. This is just a likely outcome. I'm not trying to predict anybody's future. I'll leave that to God. But I do like to pull a card on likely outcomes. Okay? I do it just for fun. Okay? So what's the likely outcome of this situation? Alright, so Pisces, with this being sideways here in regards to future actions, you literally have two different outcomes. But the method of avoiding it, and staying on the go, it may work temporarily. It may work for now, but eventually it's going to catch up. Okay? So really the two options that I see here, Pisces, is either deal with it now or wait for it to catch up with us and for us to deal with it later. Okay? For some of my Pisces, you could be really busy to where you feel like right now you don't have the time to sit down and actually feel how you feel. You may feel like you have too much on your plate or you're too busy to actually deal with this. I would just say, and especially to myself as well, to make time for ourselves, okay? If that means, getting on the phone with like an online therapist, setting some like 2 hours a week out to talk to like a therapist, or if that means going to the park every once in a while, walking in the trail, just really taking time to address these thoughts and address these feelings. We don't have to do it all at once. It could literally be a little bit per week, okay? But, it's better to deal with it now instead of waiting for it all to build up to where our brains and our hearts basically act as if my outlets did when I plugged up that blow dryer. They didn't spark back up until an actual man had to come in and flick on the switch. Okay? Same thing here. These feelings are not going to address themselves. Okay? When our heart tries to process trauma by itself, it just sits there. It stores it away, but we still feel it. Okay? And when our brain tries to process trauma by itself, all it does is store it. It doesn't actually get rid of it. Neither does our heart. It just stores it somewhere. And when that happens, we shut down. Okay? Too much of anything on our minds and heart, it will make it shut down to where we don't feel, we don't think. We're just completely out of tune with ourselves. And once again, when we're out of tune with ourselves, we're out of touch with everything and everybody around us. And it's not a pleasant place to be, Pisces. It's not pleasant to not be able to connect with people. That's not pleasant. It's not pleasant to not be able to receive divine messages from God or from the Spirit or from the universe because we're not in touch with ourselves. That's not a pleasant or safe place to be. Okay? So, yeah, those are the cards. That's the tarot reading that we have so far, Pisces. I pray that this shedded light on your situation and gave you guys much insight. I pray that this was food for thought and really gave you guys clarity and more to think about in the way that we're handling this. Okay? And yeah, but that's all that I have for you, Pisces. Until next time, toodles.